boys and girls. Today we're going to read Precious and the Boo Hag by Patricia McKissick and Onowumi Jean Moss. It was illustrated by Kristen Brooker. In this book, Precious is faced with a challenge, and you'll see what that is. She has to use some of her own strength and have courage, and we'll see what happens at the end. But the special thing about when we read this book is that I'm going to practice what good readers do, and that's thinking while reading. I bet right now while I'm talking to you, you're thinking, what's that? What's thinking while reading? Well, it's just what you're doing, thinking. So when we read or when we think about anything, we always have these cool thoughts. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what Miss Stevens is going to say next. So I want us to practice using those thoughts. I wonder what will happen. I bet this will happen. I'm feeling this way. And things like that when we read this book. Today I'm going to say all of my thoughts that I have in my brain out loud. So you get to see what my brain is saying on the inside. And that way you can practice saying those things in your brain when you read on your own. Precious and the Boo Hag. Oh, wait. Precious had been up all night with a stomach ache. Since it was corn planting time, every hand was needed on the fields. Got no choice but to leave you here, Mama said. Now remember, don't let nothing and nobody in this house, not even me, 'cause I got a key. After plenty of hugs and dozens of do's and don'ts, Mama finally left. We're no farther than a stone's throw away, she called over her shoulder. You need us, come a running, you understand? Yes, ma'am, Precious answered, feeling like a big girl. Don't worry, I'll be fine. And see, Mama, do your chores. Don't make a mess. Don't ramble in my things. Do get your stuff off the floor. I wonder what type of person Precious really is. These things are making me think that Precious might be a little bit messy and that she probably rambles in Mama's things all the time. Precious is going to be home alone. I wonder if she's feeling scared or nervous about being by herself. I wonder if this is the first time. Before he left, Brother pulled Precious to the side. Be sure to mind Mama now, 'cause if you let somebody in, you never know. It just might be Cruella, the Boo Hag. Who? Precious asked with a disbelieving giggle. Brother scrunched his face. Boo Hags live all over, everywhere, but Cruella is one who lives on the prairie. She's tricky and she's scary, and she tries to make you disobey your mama. Precious held her breath as Brother went on. Cruella is strange from head to toe. She ain't too smart, got no manners, hates clean water, can change her shape, and tells whoppers. Then his voice lowered as he added, and she'll do almost anything to get inside. Why does she want to get inside? Precious asked, her voice quavering. Brother clicked his teeth. You don't want to know. Just remember this. No Boo Hag can get inside your house unless you let her in. Then he rushed to catch up with Mama. I wonder what Precious is feeling now. I wonder if Precious is scared of the Boo Hag coming. I don't know. We'll have to see. Now Precious was all by herself. She stood stone still, listening to the quiet, hoping that if Cruella the Boo Hag was nearby, she would notice her, or see that she was alone. "What you doing standing like a bump on a piggle?" Addie Louise Patterson's voice boomed through the kitchen window, almost turning Precious inside out. "How come you not helping with the planting?" "Got a stomach ache," Precious answered, "and I can't let nothing and nobody inside 'cause," and she sighed deeply, "it might be Pruella the boo hag." Addie Louise burst out laughing. "Who told you that silly stuff? Ain't no such thing as a boo hag." "Really?" Precious said, mad that she'd fallen for another one of Brother's stories. "Better watch out for the little green men from Mars, too," Addie Louise teased and skipped away. Even though Addie Louise was sure to tell the whole county that Precious was a scaredy cat, the girl felt much better. "There's no such thing as a boo hag, especially one named Pruella," she told herself with a pinch of confidence. To pass the time, Precious looked through Mama's handkerchiefs and then tried on her Sunday hat and high-heeled shoes. She was having fun counting all the strawberry preserves when suddenly the birds stopped singing, the air felt thick and cold, honeysuckle wilted on the vine, and the sunny day took on a dark and dreary disposition. I'm noticing that Precious is doing exactly what her mama told her not to do, which is getting her things. So I bet my prediction that she does this all the time is right. I'm also feeling nervous about what's happening with it getting suddenly dark and dreary outside. I wonder, is the boo hag coming? Is it real? Is she on her way? Precious looked out the kitchen window. Didn't see nothing. She peered out the side windows. Didn't see nothing neither. But when she went to the front window, there it was, riding on the back of a storm, the biggest, meanest something Precious had ever seen. It had eyes of burning cinder and hair that shot out like lightning. "Pruella the boo hag is real," she whispered, "and she's one awful sight." I wonder what will happen. Will Pruella hurt Precious? I wonder if Precious is afraid. "Open the door and let me in," shouted a voice that rumbled like rolling thunder. The wind whirled and twirled and shook the whole house. Precious shook too, and in a small voice she answered, "My mama told me not to open the front door for nothing and nobody." Quick, she dashed behind the curtains and sang her fear. "Pruella is a boo hag, she's right outside my window. She's tricky and she's scary, but I won't let her in." The boo hag howled and threw lightning, but Precious held fast. Louder and louder she sang, "But I won't let her in, but I won't let her in, but I won't let her in." At last, Pruella grumbled and sputtered, and poof, she was gone. Instantly, the sun came out, the birds started chirping, and the daisies lifted their face to the light. Precious opened the front window and filled her lungs with the fresh-smelling air, and she sang her victory. "Pruella is a boo hag, she was right outside my window. She's tricky and she's scary, but I didn't let her in." While she was still humming, a woman opened the front gate and came stepping down the walk, looking like a runaway rainbow. "Morning to you," she spoke real cheery, then took a seat in Mama's porch rocker. "Good morning," Precious spoke back, noticing that the woman wore one pink shoe and one orange shoe. It's hot as you please, the visitor screeched, looking over Precious's head to see inside. Bring me something to drink. Tea, juice, dirty dishwater will do. Did you say dirty dishwater? Said no such thing, the woman snapped back. Hurry up anyhow, I'm thirsty. Precious wondered if the strange woman had ever heard of please. Returning from the kitchen, she handed the woman a cup of water. I'm noticing that this woman is strange. Precious has never seen her before. And she's also asking for dirty dishwater. Who does that? She also doesn't have any manners. And she won't say please, so she's probably a mean person. I predict that this is the boo hag trying to trick Precious and changing her shape. The woman flashed a crooked smile. Nah, youngin', let me inside to drink in the cool. Precious shook her head and backed away. I'm not letting nothing and nobody in this house. The woman grumbled and hissed and took a big gulp. Water! She gagged and coughed and sputtered. One eye went spinning like a top, the other started blinking, and her tongue rolled out like a scroll. I said tea, juice, anything, she gasped, but never did I ask for clean, clear water. True to brother's words, the visitor was strange from head to toe, had no manners, and hated clean water. Can't trick me, I know who you are, Precious said, and she slammed the window shut. Outside, the woman grew taller and wider and roared like 100 swamp things. Let me in, Precious sang to muster her courage. Cruella is a boo hag, she's right outside my window. She's tricky and she's scary, but I won't let her in. With the melody swirling around her, the boo hag vanished. Just then, Addie Louise came skipping up from around the side of the house. Hello, Precious, she spoke, not sounding a bit like Addie Louise. It looks like her, it walks like her, but it sure don't talk like her, thought Precious, checking to see if Addie Louise's shoes and eyes matched. Got some jacks and a ball, said the girl, her voice all scratchy. If you let me in, we can play. I'm noticing that Precious is smart because she's paying attention to the fact that Addie Louise is probably not Addie Louise at all. That is probably the boo hag changing her shape and trying to trick Precious and be in a disguise. I'm also noticing that Precious is growing in her courage because now she's not afraid to see if the boo hag is tricking her, and she's getting stronger and stronger about saying, no, I'm not letting anyone in, as the story goes on. I told you I'm not allowed. Addie Louise smiled. Her teeth didn't look like hers either. Your mama told me I could play inside with you. Precious put her hand on the doorknob. Well, if mama says it's okay. The Addie Louise thing got so excited her toes popped through her shoes. They were big and hairy and smelled awful. Precious pulled back her hand, thinking fast. She asked all sweetly, doesn't mama look pretty today in her blue apron? She truly does. I'm noticing that Precious is a fast thinker because she's also clever. Because she asked the Addie Louise thing if mama had on a blue apron when she knew that mama really had on a green apron. You're telling a big whopper, Precious shouted. Mama's apron is green. Cruella is a boo hag, she's right outside my window. She's tricky and she's scary, but I didn't let her in. In a fit of fury, the boo hag left, leaping wildly over the prairie like a mom if Mama had on a blue apron when she knew that Mama really had on a green apron. "You're telling a big whopper," Precious shouted. "Mama's apron is green." "Pruella is a boo hag. She's right outside my window. She's tricky and she's scary, but I didn't let her in." In a fit of fury, the boo hag left, leaping wildly over the prairie like a March hare. For the rest of the day, Precious watched and waited for signs of Cruella the boo hag. As of late afternoon, sunbeams struck the front porch. An orange flash of light caught her eye. It was a penny, all sparkling new. Precious wanted it. She tried to lean out the window to reach the coin, but it was too far away. She fetched a broom, but the penny wouldn't move. She had to go get it. Her stomach started hurting once more. Now her head ached too. Slowly, Precious opened the front door. Her eyes searched the yard. First right, then left. No sign of Cruella. In a dash, she hurried out, snatched up the coin, and turned to go back inside. But on the threshold, she stopped to look down at it. "No," she decided. "You can't fool me." And she flicked it over her shoulder. Poof! It was gone before it hit the ground. I'm noticing, and I'm convinced that Precious is smart and clever, because even I didn't realize that Cruella could be hiding as a shiny coin. Precious is pretty smart. When Mama came home, she was very proud of Precious. "I knew I could trust you," she said, and gave her daughter a hug. Later, Precious told Brother everything that happened. Cruella was scary, and she was pretty tricky. I almost brought her inside when she disguised herself as a shiny new penny. She finished with a big smile. "But like you told me, boo hag ain't none too smart. George Washington was on the front instead of Abraham Lincoln." That night, Precious climbed into bed and drifted off to sleep, humming her victory song. "Cruella is a boo hag. She's right outside my window. She's tricky and she's scary, but I didn't let her in." As you listen to her gentle breathing, look closely in the branches outside Precious's window. You may just see a strange and scary creature waiting to get in. The end.